At the president's direction, we have made no less than 4 different offers to Democrats on Capitol Hill on how we can make sure that the enhanced unemployment that is set to expire today, along with eviction protection that is set to expire as well, is protected. And those 4 different offers have been actually rejected. But more importantly than that, they've not even been countered with a proposal. So the Democrats are certainly willing today to allow some of the American citizens who are struggling the most under this pandemic to go unprotected. And the president has been very clear for us to be aggressive and forward-leaning to make sure that they get protected. And yet what we're seeing is politics as usual from Democrats up on Capitol Hill. It surprises me that when we talk about compassion and caring about those that truly are in need, that a temporary solution to make sure that unemployment, enhanced unemployment continues, has been rejected not once but multiple times. The Democrats believe that they have all the cards on their side, and they're willing to play those cards at the expense of those that are hurting. And we'll continue on with additional discussions today with Senator Schumer and Speaker Pelosi, perhaps an in-person meeting tomorrow on Capitol Hill as we stay engaged. But I'm disappointed in what we've experienced over the last 3 days, and I want to stress that the Democrats have made 0 offers over the last 3 days, 0. And so in a spirit of compromise, the president has sent us back not once, not twice, but 3 different times to try to find some common ground. And what we found from our Democrat negotiators is that they are bumping the price higher than the very bill that they passed out of the House several weeks ago. And to give you a particular example of that is in their HEROES bill, they have $100 billion for schools. We matched that offer and actually put forth a proposal for $105 billion for schools for K through 12 and higher institutions. And yet, what did they say to that? Oh no, that was 2 months ago. We want to increase the amount of money that we send to schools to $400 billion. We're going in the wrong direction. They're going in the wrong direction because of partisan politics. It is very disappointing. And so we call on Capitol Hill to get serious about their negotiations. The president is serious about the negotiations. We're willing to engage. As you know, Leader McConnell yesterday put forth a 1-week extension at the current levels for enhanced unemployment. And what did we see? Senator Schumer objected to that. So there's no clearer message that the American people should receive other than the fact that the Democrats are willing to play politics at a critical time in our nation's very dire circumstances as we deal with this pandemic. So I wanted to give you that brief update so that you could have it straight from the negotiations as they've happened over the last 3 days. And as we work, I'm going to turn it over to.
Okay, that was Mark Meadows. He is the president's chief of staff at the White House. He came out and gave a briefing on the status of the rescue package, the stimulus package. And the status is no deal at this point. Mark Meadows said he and the Republicans had made 4 proposals to the Democrats, and the Democrats had not responded at all. He did say, however, the talks will continue, and maybe there will be in-person meetings tomorrow with Senator Schumer. But as of right now, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, no deal. And the Dow Industrials not really responding to that news particularly. We were down about 150 before Mark Meadows spoke. We're down 150 as of right now.